Welcome back to Real Estate Radio San Antonio with Stan and Carla. And we're here with Tony and Tara from the Eilan residence out at the Eilan property in North San Antonio off of I-10 and 1604. And we're going over some great things, and it's really exciting. I mean, I see the passion in Tara. She's like going 100 miles an hour, and she's lit up here talking about that property out there she's in love with. Tony's been here for a month. We welcome you to the beautiful city of San Antonio in the state of Texas. And it's a gorgeous property out there.
I mean, I just have to, I'm imagining this is just luxury living. And if you haven't been there, you just need to go by and visit Tara and Tony at the Eilan, and they will give you a great tour and give you more information than you could even ask for. So it's the Eilan, so you have to visit the luxury apartment living.
It's across the I-10 from the rim, probably the easiest way to describe it. And when you see it, there's no doubt there's a huge arch. And how many steps are out there? Has anybody counted them yet?
Gosh, have we counted them?
How many steps are in the Spanish Steps? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, it's something we're going to do when
all
we
I
head
know
back.
is I'm huffing and puffing when we get to the top. Yeah,
We do have elevators, Stan, but
I use them. I know where they are exactly.
it's something. We talked about the name Eilan, and a little tricky. It was even tricky for me at first to pronounce it correctly. But for those I guess listening, it starts with a E. E-I-L-A-N. Hashtag.
Good.
There you go.
All right.
Well, tell us, Tony and Tara are telling us that there's some incentives for realtors. So if you just, so we're gonna talk about what that incentive looks like. Tara, Tony?
Yes, absolutely. Well, we've been very privileged to work with some fantastic single-family realtors, especially this year, more and more so. Typically, it was previously apartment locators, which we still work with quite a bit. But this sort of community and this sort of business, we've got to help each other out, whether you're in multifamily or single family. If I had a client that I knew was mostly interested in purchasing a home and it just wasn't looking for the rental option, I would definitely want to refer them to a real estate agent, that I trust, someone that I know is going to take good care of them, walk them through everything. So we appreciate referrals from the same way. So when I have a single family realtor that comes through my door, of course they're going to get the red carpet treatment. Just for referring to us, there's basically a commission off of first month's rent once that client moves in. Then it's paid out, after that. But it's a really easy process, just as far as registering with Alliance. And anyone who's interested, Alliance Residential is the name of the property management company who takes care of the apartments at Eilan. So they would have to register with us, and then we can do business together with any Alliance property in San Antonio, Austin. But Eilan, of course, is our flagship shining star here for San Antonio. And
that's for sure.
Yes, and so we would love to help your client and make sure that if they are in a transition, we offer those short-term leases for your clients. It's going to take 6 months at least to build a home from start to finish, or if they're halfway through their build and just need a 3-month lease. We're that in-between place as well as that permanent, resident, or a lot of people that are building a home on the outskirts of San Antonio, but want a San Antonio home in the hub of where everything's kind of going on, because surrounding Eilan, even though there's a lot on the property, just the general neighborhood, you have all your fine dining and finer shopping and events going on. So, it's kind of the place to be. Growing up here in San Antonio when I was a kid, there was nothing out there, and now it's the place you want to be. So if you have that client that is looking for a San Antonio location, just for rent, for temporary or permanent, send them our way. We will give them the VIP red carpet treatment, and our correspondence with our clients doesn't end when we issue keys. It's through their whole stay at Eilan. We want to make sure they're happy. If we see our resident walking by, we ask them how everything is in their apartment, how they're doing, how their kids are, how their pets are. We want to make sure that they are happy, and that they leave, if they do have to leave one day, with a great experience and great memories. So
well, I'll say I've been out there a couple of times now when we visited and such, and that's one happy office when you walk in. I mean, people can't get to you quick enough, offer you, a bottle of water, a cup of coffee. I mean, I'm sure that carries through to the entire crew. I mean, even when the maintenance gentlemen walk through and you see that, everybody has a bounce to their step. And that goes, from the top, Tony and Tara, all the way down through all of the aspects of that operation. So, we know what that is, and kind of almost a kudos to you, you two for creating that atmosphere out there. And that'd be a great place for someone to look at. So we really encourage the realtors to go out there. Now, do they need to call you if a realtor wants to see the property?
Yes.
Can they tour the property, or
they can walk in with can walk in with their client. We appreciate accompanying because then the client knows exactly who's referring them. Now, to get paid, one of the main things is for us to pay the commission is that they are listed as the source of referral.
Right.
And we will ask the client, how did you hear about us? How did you find us, to try to delve for that. But sometimes people can forget. So we just want to make sure that they know who referred them. And then with that being said, our tours can take long, as there is a lot to see, typically about an hour, sometimes more if we're looking at several floor plans. So you want to plan for that. If you're seeing several properties, maybe plan us last, but call ahead, and that way we can have a specific time set aside for you with a specific agent to make sure that you're getting our full attention, that you don't have to wait for another client to finish their tour first. So that's the best way to do it, I think.
I really encourage that. Set that appointment. I've been out there twice, and your team is just really, really busy. I mean, it's an exciting property. People are always looking at it, so make sure you call. What is your phone number out there?
You can reach us at area code 210-998-2977.
One more time. That's
area code 210-998-2977, Stan.
Thank you. We don't throw too many numbers out here because it's kind of hard on the radio, but I just want everybody to have that they know.
Absolutely, yes.
How many people do you have on staff?
Total right now, John?
Gosh, we have 6 or 7, I think, in the office, and I think about the same. So you're looking at about almost 15, 16
That's pretty good
folks
size.
on the resident side. And of course, you have a whole hotel staff. Then we work with an association that helps keep the promenade and the grounds clean, and they have approximately about 5 folks. So you're looking at about 20 to 30 people employed just by Eilan. That's not including sort of higher ups and others that are there. So it's a big operation.
That is.
That's a full staff out there.
Yeah. So Tara, in kind of just following up with what you said, many times I work with a lot of people that are selling and building new homes, and most all the time they have to sell their home to buy their new home, and they can do that any time in the construction process. So sometimes we try to plan it where they sell their home about the same time their house is ready to move in. Many times it doesn't happen that way, and it's sold before. So many times we are looking for a place to go for 2 or 3 months.
Absolutely.
Because the home sold sooner than anticipated, and so that would be a great client for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think coming from a house to an apartment, just the sound of it to a lot of folks sounds like a shock to the system.
Right.
They come from this 3,000 or 5,000 square foot home, and then all of a sudden they're in a box with 4 walls, and that's how people picture apartments, right?
Right.
But when you get to Eilan and you actually take the tour and you feel like you're on vacation just walking around, and then you see the luxury interior finish outs, it's that of what you would put in a very nice custom home, So it's not such a shock to the system per se. I think it's the perfect option for someone that's used to living at home. And they also get a lot of great outdoor spaces that they don't have to give up. We've got fantastic barbecue grilling areas throughout the community that are propane powered, and they basically can hang out at night and grill and relax with the neighbors and friends.
Well, I say it's a good place to go for 2 or 3 months before your house is done.
Yes.
And go to the spa, go to the pool, go to dinner, and just do all those things, and then you're all relaxed when you move into your new home.
Yes, take that downtime. Give
right.
yourself the lifestyle you deserve.
That's right.
People, we work hard, day-to-day hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
Go home to somewhere you can look forward to coming home
That's
to
right.
and relaxing, Absolutely.
That's a great. So, Stan, you wanted to talk about the farmers market. Were there some things on there that you wanted to bring
Well, I don't
up?
know what. I have not been out to this farmers market, and so I apologize for that because I really didn't know what was going on until we talked or spoke, probably about a month ago beforehand, and I just remember the passion that you had about this farmers market, and I know that we've come from California, and we've lived in Chicago and different areas, and there's a lot of different types of farmers markets around. So we're excited to get out here and visit this. But tell us when it is, how often it takes place, and just share a little bit with us what goes on there.
Well, it's just a fantastic event that I think brings people out to Eilan. We tend to have a lot of tours that will pop in on that Sunday, you know, that just kind of want to see, you know, hey, what's this all about? You know,
And can you handle that?
Oh, I love it. We love it. We love visitors. You know,
Okay.
we live for this. So that we welcome everyone to come out.
Okay.
Absolutely. The farmers market, it's the Ripe Festival. It's a wonderful group of vendors. The hotel handles the finer details of the market, but we love promoting it to our community. Of course, the residents love it, but you know, anyone can come and buy some beautiful farm to market vegetables. And let me tell you, there is such a difference when you're buying it fresh from the farm to your table that night for dinner. You know, I like my veggies, but now I love my veggies. You know, you know, there's a wonderful lady that sells eggs from her chickens. There's a gentleman that sells honey from his own bees, and he's the beekeeper.
Oh.
You know, and so he looks like a beekeeper, has a little hat, just adorable. And so, you know, it's such a wonderful eclectic group of vendors. There's a lady that sells the most fabulous homemade tamales, and with different kinds of exotic fillings. And
Are they warmed up and ready to go?
warmed. She sells them warm and cold.
All right.
There's corner bakeries out there, so we've got, you know,
Wow.
bakeries that sell their, you know, wonderful pastries and such.
Tamales and pastries. It
Yes.
doesn't get better on a
You-
Sunday
you
morning.
can't
Is it
go
Sunday?
wrong. You can't.
Sunday or Saturday?
On Sundays from
Sunday.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's you can't miss it. It's out. If you can find Piatis, you can find the market because it's
Okay.
out around the fountain. They've got Sunday brunch going on at Sesteno and Piatti that day too.
Okay.
So, you know, you can get a great meal and walk around and buy some groceries or some fun odds and ends. And the vendors will change. Sometimes they'll have extra people, you know, so
Do they still have a dance studio there?
it's actually one of the larger ballrooms of the hotel. They have several ballrooms there. The story behind that is that the architect of the community had a daughter who loved to dance. And so she named that ballroom dance studio, and there were some dance lessons, and we very, very first opened up.
Yes.
We didn't have a whole lot of followers for that, so they kind of discontinued that and just ended up using it for beautiful special events. Beautiful weddings and such happen there. So.
Okay. Oh, it's a beautiful area.
It is. It's just, wow. So, well, we're getting ready to wrap up for today. We've got about 30 seconds left.
So
Any party?
recap, Stan.
Recap.
So
Go
recap
ahead.
on this.
I will. Okay.
Go ahead and recap on our
I know there's
show
a lot
today.
to recap.
There is a lot to
I know.
recap.
Where do
So
we start?
What would you say, Tony? Give us one thing about this recap about the Eilan.
I would say it's just customer service, and I think it's at the highest level possible, whether it be the aesthetic of the building or just the overall, I think, interaction that you'll have with somebody on site, whether it be hopefully management or a sales associate.
Yeah.
I think you'll walk away and just really feel like this is a place like none other.
Well, Tara and Tony, thank you so much for joining us today. Carla, thank you for joining me
Thank you,
this
Stan.
afternoon.
Don't forget.
And don't forget, next week, join us right here on KUP Talk Radio at 3 p.m. Sundays. And we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.